Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to dive deep into the story of one of the most historically significant modern coins ever struck by the United States Mint, the Frederick Douglass Quarter, a coin that belongs to the America the Beautiful Quarters program and celebrates the life and legacy of one of the most powerful voices for freedom, equality, and education in American history. Because while many coins are simply tokens of commerce, this particular design carries with it a much deeper meaning tied to the struggles and triumphs of a man who was born into slavery, taught himself to read and write despite enormous obstacles, rose to become an eloquent abolitionist, orator, and statesman, and left behind a legacy that continues to inspire millions today. And the United States chose to honor him in its circulating coinage by placing him on the $quarter reverse in a design that features Douglass seated at his writing desk with his historic Cedar Hill home in the background, symbolizing both his intellectual contributions and his enduring fight for justice. And right after this important historical context, it is worth mentioning that some of these coins have fetched remarkable amounts in the collector market, with the highest auction price recorded for a Frederick Douglass Quarter reaching around $2,640 in pristine condition when graded by a top-tier service, showing that although this is a modern circulating coin, rarity in condition and collector demand can drive extraordinary values, and this fact makes the Frederick Douglass Quarter especially exciting to both new collectors searching their pocket change and seasoned numismatists who specialize in rare high-grade modern issues, because in addition to its history and its auction performance, the coin's technical details also matter. And here we note that it follows the standard $quarter specifications of the America the Beautiful series with a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a weight of 5.67 grams, a composition of copper and nickel cladding over a pure copper core for circulation strikes, and also a special 90% silver version issued in collector-proof sets. And when it comes to minting, these quarters were struck at multiple facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each bearing their respective mint marks. And collectors today pay close attention to these marks because low mintage numbers or proof-only strikes can carry premiums, and the artistry of the reverse design by Thomas Hipschen and engraving by Phoebe Hemphill makes the Douglass Quarter one of the most visually striking issues in the entire series. And when paired with a standard obverse portrait of George Washington, the coin reflects a continuity of American tradition while introducing fresh imagery that elevates voices from the nation's past. And from a collector's standpoint, one of the most appealing aspects of this coin is the possibility of finding valuable error varieties, because minting mistakes such as double dies, off-center strikes, die clashes, or even missing clad layers can transform an ordinary quarter into a rarity worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And numismatists often send these finds to grading companies like PCGS or NGC to verify authenticity and lock in value, and beyond the errors the condition itself is key, with high-grade mint state examples fetching significant premiums, particularly those graded MS68 or higher. Since very few survive without contact marks, and in the Proof Series PR70 Deep Cameo Silver versions remain especially popular and can sell for many multiples of face value, and these prices have been recorded across various auctions, from eBay listings to prestigious coin houses, where competitive bidding often pushes rare certified coins into the thousands, proving that modern quarters can still capture collector enthusiasm, and the long-term potential of the Frederick Douglass Quarter lies not only in its monetary value but also in its cultural weight, because coins that commemorate figures of social change resonate beyond numismatics and attract a wider audience of historians, educators, and cultural enthusiasts, further driving demand. And as years pass, circulation-worn examples will remain common but pristine, untouched versions especially with full luster and no marks will grow scarcer, creating conditions for rising premiums. And this is why coin roll hunters and everyday people should always check their change carefully, because sometimes treasures hide in the most ordinary places. And if you imagine a future where collectors seek to complete America the Beautiful quarter sets, the Frederick Douglass design will undoubtedly stand as one of the most admired, ranking alongside the most popular issues in the program. And with this broader perspective we see that the coin is more than a piece of modern currency. It is an educational tool, a collectible, a potential investment, and above all a reminder of one man's incredible journey from slavery to statesmanship, a story so powerful that it was forever engraved into the nation's circulating money, making every example of this quarter a small but meaningful monument. And as we explore deeper we can appreciate how coins like this connect people with history in tangible ways. Because to hold a Frederick Douglass Quarter is to hold a piece of art, a piece of commerce, and a piece of human perseverance all at once, and this is why it continues to inspire collectors, historians, and everyday Americans alike. As we continue exploring the Frederick Douglass Quarter in more depth, it is important to understand that while this coin belongs to the broader America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2021 and showcased 56 different national parks, historic sites, and monuments from every state and territory. The Frederick Douglass issue stands out because it highlights not just a location, like Cedar Hill in Washington, D.C., but also the life and impact of the man who lived there, making it both a site-specific and person-centered design, and this combination has given it unique standing among collectors who recognize it as one of the more historically and culturally significant designs of the entire series, and this significance directly translates into long-term collector demand. Because coins that carry a narrative beyond geography often draw attention from outside the numismatic community as well, meaning that educators, museums, and social history enthusiasts often show interest in acquiring or displaying them, and when we look more closely at its production, we see that the Philadelphia Mint struck tens of millions of these coins for circulation, while Denver contributed a similar number, ensuring that the Frederick Douglass Quarter entered commerce widely, but the San Francisco Mint struck both clad-proof and silver-proof versions, as well as special uncirculated collector issues, all of which were sold directly to collectors rather than released into everyday use, and those special mint products have already shown strong demand on the secondary market, especially in perfect grades, because while circulation strikes are plentiful, flawless proofs are far less common when graded by services like NGC or PCGS, and beyond these minting differences, the coin's design details reveal a remarkable level of artistry, with Douglass shown at his writing desk holding a quill, symbolizing the power of words and knowledge, while Cedar Hill rises in the background to anchor the image in his lived reality, and the way this design was executed ensures that every angle tells part of the story, because the table, books, chair, and home collectively remind viewers of both the man's intellectual strength and his lasting contributions to civil rights, and the symbolism of a quill rather than a sword underscores his belief in the transformative force of education and oratory, something that makes this coin a miniature lesson in American history every time it is examined, and for collectors this layered symbolism only adds to its desirability, because when numismatics combines with history in such a clear way, the coin's appeal transcends metal value, and this explains why auction results continue to surprise many, with high-grade examples realizing thousands of dollars, while even mid-grade certified pieces can achieve impressive returns compared to face value, especially if they are designated as early strikes or exhibit special die characteristics, and in the case of error coins, values can rise dramatically, with off-center strikes or double dies sometimes drawing collector bidding wars that push prices well into the hundreds or more, proving that even within modern issues, rarity in form still commands a strong premium. And this is why coin roll hunters often target boxes of quarters from banks in the hope of uncovering Frederick Douglass examples with minting anomalies, a practice that keeps excitement around this coin alive even years after its release. And what makes this even more engaging is that while some America the beautiful designs may fade from memory, Douglass's story remains so culturally resonant that his quarter will continue to hold attention, meaning collectors who set these aside today are positioning themselves well for future appreciation. And considering the fact that building complete sets of the America the Beautiful quarters is a popular challenge among hobbyists, the Frederick Douglass issue will always be required, and when future generations seek to complete those sets, strong demand will persist, driving up values especially for coins in higher grades, so the long-term trajectory for this piece remains upward, and this is supported by past trends in modern commemorative coins, where designs featuring civil rights leaders or key cultural icons consistently outperformed less resonant designs in the collector market. And beyond value, one must also consider the educational aspect, because each time a student, teacher, or history lover examines this quarter, it sparks conversations about Douglass's writings, speeches, and leadership, meaning this coin has already succeeded in spreading his legacy to audiences who may not have encountered it otherwise, and this educational function only strengthens the coin's cultural position, making it more than money. It becomes a portable monument to freedom and perseverance, and collectors understand that such qualities enhance not just the historical importance but also the collectability, and as we close our exploration of the Frederick Douglass Quarter, it becomes clear that this coin represents far more than its copper, nickel, or silver content. It represents a bridge between commerce and conscience, between everyday transactions and enduring history, and in the world of numismatics that is the highest purpose a coin can serve. So whether you are a seasoned collector building a full set, a casual hobbyist searching your change, or simply someone who loves history and wants to own a tangible connection to a great American leader, the Frederick Douglass Quarter offers all of that in one small but powerful piece of metal, and with values already proving strong in auction markets and likely to rise further as pristine examples grow scarcer, there has never been a better time to appreciate, collect, and safeguard this important issue, because each example is both a collectible investment and a cultural reminder, ensuring that Douglass's voice, once silenced by slavery but amplified by his own determination, continues to be heard every time this quarter passes from hand to hand. And with that, we reach the end of this exploration, so thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more rare coin histories, and stay tuned for the next incredible journey into the world of numismatics.